So we will get rocking and rolling. Hello, hello. This is Trevor Mickelson, and I am here to help you embrace prosperity. And wow, what a day this has been, connecting with so many fans of Healy who, like Julie, trusted this crazy quantum financial spiritual dude who said, "Hey, would you like to try frequency medicine? There's this class 2 medical device that's been cleared by the FDA for pain." That's all that it does, but it's like a smartphone. It's like, it would be like telling somebody, "Hey, here's a smartphone and all you can do are make calls." Like, that would be kind of silly. And that's what the Healy is, what the FDA has said it does. But just knowing that there are multiple stuff that it can has a potential of doing, though with all the disclaimers that they chalk that up as crazy woo-woo people. And so one more testimonial coming to you. So this is Julie Niles-Fry, and she is an amazing connector and marketing professional. And I wanted to introduce you to her. When we moved from Colorado to Oregon, Julie was one of the very, very first people that we met. And since then, we have formed a pretty good friendship. We keep connected, and wow, we have a lot of plans for the future. I'll just say, like, every time we talk, it's like, what about this? What about this? What about this? Because I love marketing, you love marketing, I love connecting, you love connecting, and we're like, ah. So we basically are on the same wavelength, right? Great minds think alike. And when we connected, it was this immediate, wow, you're soul family, and we're gonna potentially save the world together. Hey, you want to save the world with me? I think that's something around those things. That's what I shared with you. But so you, gosh, a few months ago, I think back in February or so, you finally said, "Yeah, Trevor, I'm going to get this Healy thing." And you've tried it. We've connected with a few other people in your life, so I know it's getting out there, and I know you're sharing it. My question today for individuals who are looking into the Healy, maybe they're sitting on the fence and they're going, "Well, I'm not sure if I want to do it. I'm not sure I can trust the quantum field. I don't even know anything about quantum entanglement, or is it spin up or spin down? What is this?" Or whatever it is. It's like, Julie, does any of that stuff actually matter in order to use the Healy?
I'm not as smart as all that. So my husband is, but I'm not. So I may be alike or different from other people in that I am somebody who, if there's something that could make you feel better or do something for you, that why wouldn't you try it? And I think that a lot of people, I know lots of people, my mom, as you get older, you rely on that doctor to write that prescription, and you can get into a pattern maybe of utilizing traditional methods. But one of the things that opened my eyes years ago was meeting a doctor named Andrew Weil, who's an integrative medicine doctor. And my husband wasn't getting anywhere with his myalgic encephalomyelitis. In fact, he hadn't even been diagnosed. They just kept bopping him back and forth from doctor to doctor, endocrinologist, gastrointestinologist. I mean, every doctor you could imagine. And he was on so many drugs that he was, useless. He slept all day long. And so when I discovered integrative medicine, then I was like, oh, well, let's try that. And there was some pushback at first from Brad, because he respects doctors. He has somewhat of a medical background. And so when you ask me that question, like, all that quantum stuff, it matters to me in that whatever works. And so I'm willing to try anything. And he was kind of a pushback at it. In fact, today he just did another session. So, move the needle maybe a little bit at a time. But what I've done, Trevor, is haven't done enough research yet, but this biomedicine field, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it's huge.
it's
right?
huge. Yeah.
And it's not that it's already huge. It's like, it's not really at its infancy, but I happened upon it when I was trying to find the link for the Healy. I was shown my sister, and she was like, "Send me that link," right? And so And then this biomedicine thing came up, and I'm like, what's that? And it turns out that there's like this whole amazing field that I had no idea about, and functional medicine, and how can the Healy work with some of these things? Excuse me, I have a little sinus issue. How can they work with these things? And this is where medicine's going, period.
Yeah.
So we got to know about it. We have to try it.
Yeah. Well, being a marketing professional, I think you're perfectly poised for the multi-trillion-dollar disrupting industry that is now sitting here. And I think about this all the time. Sports. Whoa.
Right.
Whoa. Let alone individuals who are in the silver sneakers or above, like pains and aches.
Yes.
Oh, whoa.
Right.
The amount of, instead of digestible or insertable ways to help you cope with pain, since this is a class 2 medical device for pain that's been cleared by the FDA, to
Right.
have that demographic alone as a marketing professional is a dream come true. To be able to be at this disruptive moment where you're watching the tides change. It's pretty phenomenal when you sit in that awe of, and that's like 2. Then you think about, oh my gosh, what about the educational field for kids to help them focus and re-engage with
Right.
coherence, right? Coherence. So there's a lot of stuff going on in there.
Yeah.
You've got professionals looking for biohacks to be more productive in their days. I mean, just the pain element alone. I mean, if your hubby was not in pain, how much productivity would you see in that man? How would his shift in life be? I mean, in general.
I can't even describe that. I mean, he went from being a healthy surfer and active man, fit, strong, all of those things to over the years, just going the traditional course of the way medicine works. Had it not been for integrative medicine, we wouldn't even be where we are, being able to do that. And yeah, I mean, it's incredible. And I was just thinking the other day, my son and I were he graduated college, and we were talking about ADHD. And I hadn't looked at that in a long time. And I am somebody who I know, I mean, if you were going to peg somebody, it would probably be me. And anyways, we were talking about that the other night. And then I realized, oh my gosh, there's like a focus app. And I'm going to try it and see if I can,
Julie,
focus.
have you not been through all isn't this amazing how you're like months in and then all of a sudden you realize there's a whole new section that you never even saw.
I know.
And it's like,
you go, well, wait a minute. What about that one? Yeah. Yeah. And I was going to ask you, how many of these things can I do a day?
Oh my gosh. Have you not got your Healy Quick Start Toolkit on choosehealy.com?
I'm bad though. That ADHD squirrel.
Oh, I know.
I know.
Well, this is the thing about frequency medicine. Everybody's different, and I let people know, hey, if you were to eat the way that you ate currently, and then whether that's standard American, whether that's fast food every once in a while, whether that's out of a box or out of a can, whatever that might be, and then all of a sudden switch to whole foods, plant-based, even juicing organic, and doing a juice fast, your body would go through a substantial amount of stuff that would go through. Headaches, pains, things like that. Might experience a lot of flu symptoms because that's exactly what your body is doing. It is flushing out those toxins and utilizing natural viruses, which is our solvents. When you go actually looking into what a virus actually is, it's a solvent. It's an inert solvent that is produced by your body to eliminate. And what happens is everything comes out of our cells, those things that we eat and drink and all that stuff, it goes out into our system, and chances are there is leaky guts, and so there's re-emergence of that, and also passing through our systems there is a toxic response that happens, right? You got your white blood cells and everything going, hey, is everything okay? And inflammation, right? And that's where we go through this flushing when we go through a cleanse, or we go into a water cleanse. Well, that's on the physical 3D standpoint of, hey, I just ate this celery stalk. That's going to go into my body. And it's going to have this downline cascade of if this, then that. Well, from a physical standpoint, that it is recommended to ease into cleanses, because you can actually have too much and go into a toxic overload because you are so toxic to yourself, right?
Right.
And if you've never done a cleanse before, anybody watching this, give a like, love, and give a thumbs up, comment down below if you've ever had that flu that comes from cleansing. And the Healy frequency medicine is no different. And a lot of people go from, oh my gosh, it was so, like, it was rainbows and unicorns and butterflies and I was awesome. And then other people are like, what did you do? And my wife and I were we're both of those, actually, because we had it's rainbows and butterflies for the first few days, because we were running like 6-8 programs a day, almost nonstop. Because once you get it and you feel it, you're just like, yes, this is exactly what we've been looking for, that point of leverage, because that's really what it is. The fulcrum changes to your favor. That's exactly what the quantum field is. It's infinite potential of all possibilities, and that's leverage if you're going to get it right. And so in that, the question is, what feels good to you? And they recommend, Healy says 1 to 3 programs a day to start off. Once you have acclimated with it, and the deep cycle, which will be on subscription moving forward, anybody who opts in today, come on now, will be gifted the deep cycle programs, and first, second, and third application help your body attune to receiving the energy. So those would be some of the programs that we go to first, absolutely no questions asked. And what that will do is it'll help your body get into bioenergetic resonance with that frequency that you're going to be accepting and have the intention to receive. Now, afterwards, and after you have acclimated and attuned to receiving that energy, the doctors who are on the team of Healy and that are helping these launches, I mean, these guys have been in frequency medicine for 30, 40 years. It's amazing. These people are so like, boom. And there's the weekly What's Up Wednesday calls that happen every Wednesday at 10 a.m. live calls that you can talk to doctors. And then on Tuesday, there's a Tech Tip Tuesday. So if anybody's having any tech issues, they can get on live calls and work through those processes. But over and over again, when this question comes up, it's you do 1 to 3 treatments, programs a day, and maybe take a day in between and acclimate into it. And then once you're up and running, the doctor, Steve, he says, I'll run 6, 7, 8 programs. I'll run them all day, because why not? When you're able to, and because there's an adjustment period. So as the seasons of the earth change and the mountains start drying up and the rivers slow down and the sludge starts to coagulate, and then the time goes along and the spring runoff starts and the snow starts to melt and the rain starts to come, that's exactly what it's like when your frequency changes. That sludge has to go somewhere, and it will go through your body. And it's the question of how fast you want it to go through and how much can you handle. And for yourself or myself, I'm like, now I tell everybody, like, trust me, you got this investment. It's an investment. And if you are going to see Time Waver, so Time Waver is the company that originally created this and then turned into Healy. And for the last 18 years, you remember like the big stack tape players or stereo systems that they had, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that's what this used to be. and you had to have be a practitioner in order to have it. And it was like 50, 80, 100,000 or $100,000 or whatever. It was like they were really solid investment. And I connected with this individual called Kwaku, or named Kwaku. He's in the UK. He found me from my videos and said, dude, you're my guy. I want to partner with you. Let's do this business. And so he knew about Time Waiver. He had spent $500 on one session. No, I take that back. 400 euros. So I don't know what that is in American.
Well, back in the day, who knows?
Yeah,
right?
Whatever. So he spent, 400 euros to go get one session. And he's like, Trevor, the Healy does way more than the Time Waiver. And he is amped. In the last 3 weeks, he's probably got out 6-7 units already. It's amazing. Because he, like yourself, he knows those people who are in that industry. And it's not a sell. It's, hey, did you know? What? No? Where do I get it? That's it.
And what's interesting is, like, we have one Healy Resonance. Is that going to remain just open, or are we still going to have to subscribe?
No. See, that's the thing is, it's lifetime frequencies right now until July 1st. And that's on German time. So whenever it hits July 1st for them, it's over. I'm not quite sure what that time is here in the States, but I would get your orders in quick, because the servers bog down. And if the servers bog down, it goes from lifetime to subscription. And on your side,
buy a Resonance right now, then you're covered for life. Yeah. But if you wait to buy your Resonance until after July 1st, then you're stuck paying a subscription.
Well, you're not stuck paying a subscription. When you get the unit, there's going to be 3 months of half of there's 8 program pages that are going to be lifetime. And then 7 program pages, I believe, that are going to be on subscription. So you'll have half of the amount, not less than half of the amount of program pages that you do. So right now you've got over 120 programs, over 160. When you go to the Resonance side, that's the Pink Dot app. That's the individual microcurrents and connecting physically. When you go over to the Resonance, have you seen how many programs are there?
There's so many. It's so many.
It's so many.
So many.
It's so many.
Right.
So many.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So unless so right now where you currently are, Julie, unless you wanted to get your fur babies connected with the physical pet bundle, which you got to think about that industry as well. What? You're about to we could disrupt a $30 billion
industry.
Yeah. That right there. I mean, from flea medications. What?
They don't have to take flea medications? Oh my gosh.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying they have a frequency for bioresonance around fleas.
Wow. Is that on my Healy right now?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's on your Resonance here. I'll pull it up.
So what I was going to say is that's hard though, is that I leave the unit to Brad and then I want to use it, but I don't want to take it away from him.
Do you understand now why we have 4?
Yeah, your family's full of them. Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, because I'm using 2 at any given point of time. Sometimes 3. I kid you not, because it's like, wow, I got energy.
3 units on you?
Yeah, no, well, 1 for me and then 2 for out there.
Oh, okay.
Or like 1 for the kiddo. And Julia's, she's always plugged in. I mean, her abilities these days, it's like, whoa, like you said, like, I don't want to take it off of me. The other day, Dean crashed, he fell, and we put a resonance on him and then did physical connections. And then I also had it running, or 2 of them were charging. And when I asked her for it, she's like, oh, right. Like,
no. Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, you can do, here, I'll pull it up. You can do person, animal, plant, organization, building, vehicle, group, or other. So this is something that I love doing, is setting up stores so that when I go in stores, aligning the store. Okay. When I am in doing masterminds, I will align the group, right? And the frequency I love running is multiple rivers of aligned passive profit, because with the resonance, you can record any frequency in the world, right?
This is too crazy for me.
Well,
Isn't it amazing?
it's
I
like,
mean,
wait,
it's mind blowing. It
yeah,
applies to every, well, like my husband said, it's quantum, and like you've said before, right? It's quantum, it's everywhere,
it's everywhere.
right?
Yeah.
But my mind doesn't grasp those things as well. But wow.
It doesn't, well, that's the thing, is it doesn't need to. I mean, is this thing rocket science with you coming from that frame of mind? Because there's a lot of individuals who are like, oh my gosh, it's like gotta be tech crazy. I've got to be some sort of like tech genius.
No, it's not like that. No. It's very easy, to take the things and put them on your wrist, or put the little sticky ones, electro pads on an area and turn it on. Yeah, there you go. And they stick pretty good. And then you just turn on your Healy. I mean, it's not like there's anything you need. It's not hard. It's super easy. Of course, the first time you do anything, it's kind of like, oh, well, this is weird. But then it's nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't hurt. You can't feel it. Yeah, there you go.
That's all you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. The more I think about this, Julie, once people figure this out, that it has the ability to disrupt every single industry that there is on the planet.
And make it better. Maybe make everything better.
Yeah.
That's the cool thing, is the potential.
Yeah. And that's the quantum. It's the potential.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's the question of what is it that we get to do with it? And what I love is that you trusted me and you said, you know what, Trevor, I seen your wife and I believe you, and I'm going to test that 14-day trial period, and I'm going to do it. And you've had it for months, and now I understand you. So what are you going to do in the next 24 hours? You're going to get another one, or you're going to get one later on?
Are they doing that deal still?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they reinvigorated it. They told, when you got it, they said, we're not doing the sale anymore. But for the new business model launch that is launching, all the back end office is changing, commission structures. It's really awesome what is going down. Like they're going big, and it is something definitely worth focusing on, and to really put some effort into. Yeah, right now you can save $500 or $1,000. You could do the exact same thing that you did before, and get a Healy resonance at $1,500 and have a lifetime of.
With a lifetime, then never have to subscribe.
Unless you wanted a pet bundle for your pets, or to do the Healy watch, that's another one. Or they have new harmonization frequencies that are not going to be available, and something,
because they have harmonize on the current Healy.
Oh, it's a different one. It's a completely different program page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was the thing you also just said? The harmonize and the
coherence,
pet, and the
pet,
no, pet and something else. But
the watch.
The watch. Do you have the watch?
No, I don't have the watch yet.
How is it different than the Healy?
It's imagine one of those. So heart rate variability, your fitness level, sleep, how you actually sleep during the night, and
like a Fitbit type of thing.
Way leveled up from there. Yes, and it will monitor all of these diagnostic parts of your life and recommend product or programs for you, so that it'll say, hey, this cycle, this program, and so it gives you information to go. I mean, the resonance will do that. It will say, hey, what is your highest benefit now? But if you're able to monitor your sleep, then also there's the advantageous intention that is going with that. And actually, right before this, I was connecting with Shaylee, and she said she sleeps 8 hours straight through. She had migraines since she was 9 years old, severe back pain, fibromyalgia. All this stuff is I'll say on the like unknown now, not even on our field anymore. And she's sleeping 8 hours straight, and her Healy watch was saying she's waking up every single hour. She's up for 20 minutes. She's getting hardly any sleep at night. And now a few months later, because she got hers right when you did back in February, I believe, and her sleep has totally corrected itself, and she's sleeping 8 hours a night.
Okay, so let me be clear on the watch. So the watch is like having a wearable Healy.
It is.
It's just wearing it all the time like you would a watch.
It does not administer the frequencies though.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You'll have to have a Healy.
Yep. So you still have to have a Healy, but what it does is it is providing all of that feedback. And so that it is like, I don't want to say it is like a Fitbit, because here's a Fitbit, here's Healy watch. They spoke about the insanely different benefits of the Healy watch versus a Fitbit, and it's totally out of this world in comparison. So
sounds to me more like a diagnostic unit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In that, like it's monitoring you, and then it's saying, hey, you know what, you're not sleeping every hour. This would be a good program for you to run. And you're stressed out. This would be a good program for you to run. And you're in pain or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's the whole point of this is it's going from practitioner-led to patient-led care. And so you're able to administer what is of your highest benefit in whatever moment and wherever you are, no matter what the situation, whatever anybody is ordering you to do or not, you're able to go from that victim of like, please help me, I'm in pain.
Right.
Yeah. To like, no, I got this, Chief. Watch me go. My name's Julie.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well,
this.
I'm going to do a little bit more research on this bio field, because I was blown away to find out that, well, where have I been? Right? Where have I been? And this is the only unit you can really get that is proven. Excuse me. And Europe is in love with it, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, they've been using it for a long time, and it's just now that the US is, saying, yeah, hey, this is good.
Yeah. Yeah, in Europe, it can treat any disease and any illness. And here it's only a class 2 medical device for pain from the FDA. So, and what's fun is there's a lot of papers going to be written coming out, because there's a lot of skeptical individuals, we'll say that are in disbelief of that's got to be like an oxygen bar at the mall. Right. I remember. We'll connect one day. I remember, right at the beginning. It's always interesting in life. I was taught this by one of my mentors, that throughout life, generally, I'm going to meet people just like you, really nice, really wonderful, really amazing people. And every once in a while, you're going to meet that person that's just like trying to rain on your parade. And there's usually around like 8 or 9 of them in the world, and they get around, but and they ruin people's day. But I met one of those. It was a rare moment, and it was right as I got involved in Healy, and it was this blatant almost attack, like just coming after me to prove that I'm wrong. And I'm like, I'm watching my wife come alive.
Right.
I'm watching myself shift into a new paradigm. I'm watching my kids. Like, you can sit there and beat your chest about how wrong I am. And what's going to be fun is coming back and saying, hey, I know I blocked you. I know I unfriended you. I know I did that. And that was for our benefit. And now I'm here with that. The papers, the in the medical journals for you to examine, and all these testimonials. And what's fun is that that's the only single person in almost a year now since I've got my Healy, and every single other person's like, yeah, I'll try it. I don't know how it works, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that that's something, as I don't know if you've been watching the satellites at night. Have you guys been doing that with the star? Tesla, Elon Musk wants to ensure that there's internet all over the planet, right? So that rural locations will have internet, right? So
he wants 5G to cover the world.
Yeah. And so you can go to Starlink and you can watch when the satellites are going to go over literally your own backyard. Your backyard's going to show up your front yard, right? And so the first night I saw them was back in May, and it was, I guess, their first launch or something. And I was outside and I screamed. I thought the invaders were coming. There was this bright stream, and I don't know, 30, 40 satellites went overhead in a very bright, it was like watching the stars go across the sky, like in a row. It was it blew my mind. It was scary. I screamed for Brad. But I say that to say this, who would have ever thought that would happen?
Yeah.
What? So there you have to, I don't know. I'm just one of those, you need to leave your mind open for the possibilities, and who would think that people all over the world, no matter where they are, at some point, there will be 4,000 satellites up there that are going to make that possible for everybody. Whether we like them there or not is not the point. They're not, of course, they've had to do a lot of research not to deflect the night sky, but it's like, wow, so why wouldn't we know science? If we don't know science, we know the quantum field exists. And when it's proven to have already benefited people, well, that's good. And, like when you mentioned fibromyalgia earlier, when Brad first got sick, some doctor told him that he might have fibromyalgia, right? Well, then he gets to the next doctor, and the other doctor's like, there's no such thing as fibromyalgia. Then he goes to the next doctor. There's no such thing as fibromyalgia. I mean, he heard this over and over, and yet they were putting him full of medicines for this thing that might or might not be real, fibromyalgia, right? And so that I look back to those times that all of these different diagnoses and Humira and all of these other drugs that were just test drugs back then. And I look to, that it's just ridiculous. I mean, everything grows in its knowledge. And now there really is something called fibromyalgia, and the symptoms really are true. And many people experiencing them, and some people don't. It doesn't mean that it isn't real for somebody. And so that's why I think the Healy's cool.
Yeah, that potential, that possibility, and just to go, yeah, you know what? The medical world is cool. It's doing us, well in areas, and there's this whole other potential that is there and can really serve as many people and with unknown amounts of benefit. And so speaking of that, what's been your coolest moment that you have experienced with the Healy, either personally or with other people, sharing the frequencies with people?
Well, I think now that, oops, sorry, I don't know if my screen's going out on you. I guess hello, are you there? Okay.
We're here.
Okay. I think Brad's improved. I just do, because I don't think he might not want to admit it. Sorry, I'm putting my charger on my phone. Darn me, little bugger. Allow. Am I there? Okay.
You're here. Yeah.
So Brad, he says he's only using the Healy to make me happy. Okay, now this is funny. We've been married 25 years, right? Brad would do anything to make me happy. But I think in the back of his head, he's like, you know what? I should just try it, But he's so into a doctor's word that's really important to him because he comes from a medical background. And so he respects the mind of the doctor, right? And there's nobody in Medford, Oregon talking about, quantum, right? So, but
I think there's like there's at least one guy talking about it.
Well, maybe you. Okay. So he started using this thing and he has like completely done so much yard work this year. Normally I weed eat and normally I do all the weed eating and he'll come out and water a little bit. This year, he's like redone the front. I'm looking at it right now. It's like, oh my gosh, he's planted wildflowers. He has dug up all of our rock borders, not all of them yet, but most of them, and redone them. Like you have rock borders, and then over the years, after 20 years, the dirt gets in them, and they're not, they're just looking like some rocks. And then you got to weed eat the grass, whatever. And so now he's like made these rock walls. He went out. I mean, this is hard work. Okay, this is hard work to go dig huge holes and re-landscape, and he's done all of that. So don't tell me that something's not working, because I've had a husband for 18 years who some days he feels better and some days he doesn't. But if he does anything consistently, like if he does something one day and he does a lot of it, he crashes for 3 days, maybe a week, maybe more than a week. Here, no crashes. That's big. So I know it's got to be something, because the only thing that's changed in his life is adding Healy to it. So it's all I could imagine what happened. The drugs haven't changed. He doesn't take as many, he doesn't take any of those drugs they used to give him years and years ago. But it's the only thing that's changed. So I know something's working, period. It could be the only thing it is. He's still eating his frozen organic burritos. That hasn't changed. You know what I mean? I'm still drinking 2 cups or 3 cups of coffee in the morning. That hasn't changed. He's still eating 1 salad at night. That hasn't changed. Nothing has changed except the healing and the fact that he's been able to do all this stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
That's all I can say. I know. It's pretty impressive. Now, does he say that his pain goes away? Well, sometimes he's still like grabbing his side of his stomach. A lot, actually. Maybe 50% less than before. But he's not moaning. Not that he used to walk around just moaning all the time, but I hear him and it hurts. It hurts to be in chronic pain. And I understand that, but I also understand the difference of the last 18 years or whatever. He's almost 20, but no, I think he's been home 18 years from Iraq, from Military Sea Lift Command. So, it's pretty amazing.
Wow.
I know.
It's a beautiful story. And that's right there. That's one person. That's one person. And you get to.
So why wouldn't you try it? That's why I'm like, why wouldn't you try it? If it doesn't work, give it to somebody else. Give them a gift. That's what I figured I would do, Trevor, originally when I bought it. I was, I remained pretty healthy.
I know.
Your
story was, it's probably not going to work for me. I'm just going to, everybody else. And I'm like,
right,
you're the type of person who needs it the most. Because you're
maybe. Yeah, maybe I do need it too,
Caregiver, hi, empty cup. I understand. We need it the most as a caregiver.
Right. Yeah. Well,
so you were going to give it away. Cat's out of the bag. You're going to test it and give it to somebody else.
Yeah, I thought, if it doesn't work for Brad, then, and I just give it to somebody that maybe it would work for. Try it out on different people until it started working. But I ain't giving nothing away. Sorry, world, you're not getting ours. It's kind of the thing. So.
And you know what's fun, Julian? Well, I really appreciate your time and connecting, and this has been a really valuable conversation. I'm gonna get it right, because this oh geez, how do you say it? Myalgic, encephalomyelitis.
Yeah.
Myalgic
Yeah.
encephalomyelitis. Oh geez,
Yeah, you
it's
almost
gone.
had it. Yeah, myalgic
Encephalomyelitis.
encephalomyelitis.
That's right.
And it's not
And
the same as encephalitis.
yeah,
It's encephalomyelitis. But
encephalomyelitis.
yeah.
Okay, so in the event that that would be the only thing. I mean, it's so amazing to know that it can do so much more for yourself. Definitely. Have you checked out lungs,
Yes.
bacteria with
Yeah.
yeah,
I think you
that's
told me to do toxic. I did toxic, but keep telling me. I like to
yeah,
listen.
those three, if you're sitting right now where you're sitting at your present state of
Yeah.
because there's been some lungs and stuff going on,
Yeah.
toxins, bacteria, because you got to think there's more bacterial cells in your body than there are you. And if your bacterial cells and your cells are in misalignment,
Yeah.
what? Right?
Uh-huh.
Wow. You know
Yeah.
that. And pure.
I did the lungs and the the lungs and the toxins when you told me to. But you know what? I think Brad needs the toxins too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So,
all of it. Going through the meridians, right? Making sure all the kidneys and the liver and the nerves and the pancreas and the spleen, making sure all those meridians are all in bioharmonization of one another, making sure those fields are in resonance, and then looking at things like intestines, like toxins, looking at things of circulation, those things. Really,
right.
I'm just diving down and intuitively going, huh. Okay, this is in the fitness. My wife stays a lot in the fitness program page, and you're like, fitness, why? Well, stamina, endurance,
I need
muscle, deep relaxation. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Regeneration, circulation, those things. And it's like, well, why would somebody who is struggling with, something very similar to MS for my wife, well, because there's a strength program in here. And what's amazing, there's days like today, I kid you not. I mean, you've been over to our house. We had, she had two, and this is all before lunch, by the way. She jammed out about 30 of her tortillas. Have you had our tortillas yet?
She makes them?
Gluten-free, grain-free, stretchable, pliable, chewy tortillas that are better. Oh, it's so good. Come on over. You're gonna love them.
Yeah.
They're so good. So she made about 30 of those and 2 loaves of bread. She got I can't say the word of it because it's going to be a product soon that even staying the name will anyway, it has to do with coconut. And so she got one of those things. She was doing all this stuff, and our kiddos are staying with Gran and Papa tonight, and so we have the night off because I'm doing Healy last launch and whatnot, and really focusing on. I'm like, so we're driving to get some dinner, and it's like rare times that we're not cooking, right? And we're driving, and I looked at Julia very briefly. I was driving, right? So I looked at her, right? This isn't the movies, and I was like, Julia, you rocked it today. And she's like, you know what? I did rock it today. And she goes, you know what? And I didn't even use my Healy. And I know.
Wow.
And I said, and we both went, wow, that's how far she has come. Because one, that's intense stuff for her. And to be able to maintain functionality and similar to Brad, not be in bed or on the couch or in exile to a horizontal position for days or weeks, and to be able to contribute and play and be outside in 100+ degree temperature. Usually it's like the temperature alone messes with her and sucks her energy out. And now it's like, that's the thing with it. It's like, it is working. It's working. And that energetic bioresonance that she has it's commanding, and it's so amazing. And there's so many people who are just like, wow, it's not an overnight fix. It's like, you've had 30 plus years of that, and you want this thing to, there's the potential. Are you willing to receive that is the question. But it's more so saying, it took some time to come into your life. It's probably going to take a little bit of time to come out, like ease out of your life as well. So
Sure.
that's where the 14 days, I mean, did you yourself with Brad, anybody in your life see benefits within 14 days? I mean, what were you sold within 14 days?
Yeah, I mean, it was just easy. Yeah, it was just good. That was no problem. But with everything else, I mean, everything else they did for Brad, if you do this diet, and if you do that diet, and if you eliminate this, and he did the elimination diet 3 times, right? To no avail, to find out about the leaky gut, and then this drug and that drug, and we're going to try this. And, I've told you this, but, Brad wouldn't be alive today if it weren't our pharmacist. If we just used any old pharmacist, just, let's say we went to, CVS or one of the box stores or whatever, and had whatever pharmacist on a regular basis, Brad wouldn't be alive. It was because we had a relationship by going to the same pharmacy all the time, and they were watching his drug transitions, and they would check his drugs every time they filled a prescription, and then call me, say, this is a Molotov cocktail, can't fill it. You need to go back to the doctor. You need to take him the list. This happened on several occasions. So, it got scary. It gets scary when somebody's sick like that. And so, for this, it's worth a shot, and it's working for us. And I saw it work for you. And I love Sally's story, right? Your mother-in-law, right? She was like, oh my God, pain gone, and I'm hoping that that's for Brad one day too, that it'll be just totally gone. But like you said, things take time. Brad's body's filled with toxins from the military, and he proudly served our country. But, there's some residual from those types of things. And you can't carry those and contribute more to them in your life and not expect it to take a little bit of while to feel better. But when he can do everything he's been doing lately on 2.5 acres, our yards never look better. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's never looked better. It's beautiful. Wow. I'm serious. I know.
I love it. That's so good.
That's good. Yeah.
Really.
All because of you. You. And that's kind of fun. You. Wait, I like that.
Julie, thank you so much for spreading this love and this wisdom and this personal perspective of what I see and the reality of exactly when it came into my presence, I went, boosh.
Yeah.
It was this, how many people will I get to serve unconditionally with no expectation?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're very good at that too. You put it out there, and it's just your knowledge and your help and everything is just for the taking, just for the asking, I should say, So thank you.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Yes.
And I'm honored. And you got a few hours if you want another one where you get to save and have
I
life.
know. Tomorrow's the 30th. Let's see. Is Germany 8 hours ahead of us?
Let's see. Let's see. So we'll look at this Germany time. Berlin.
I don't know why I think they're 8 hours ahead of us.
Yeah, they are somewhere around that. That makes sense. So they're 5 a.m. So we got nine hours. So what do we got? Let's see, 19 more hours. 19 more hours.
Ah!
Well, yeah, 18 hours and 52 minutes. That's
and what time is that going to be?
So
mine's too tired. 24 hours would be 8 o'clock minus 5 hours. So is going to be 3 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, 9. Yep, 3 o'clock. That's the deadline. Though the servers, just to let you know, at every single sale that they've ever had, the servers at the end get bashed with orders.
For sure.
So it's good luck at that point.
Yeah, really. Better do it by noon. Well, yeah, it'd be better to do it before bed tonight or super
Yeah,
early
it's one of,
tomorrow when people are sleeping.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those musical chair moments. It's like, am I gonna get a Healy? I don't know.
Right.
Oh geez,
Yeah.
I'm out. So anywho, I appreciate you and your vulnerability and your truth. And I'm so looking forward to continuing this adventure into whichever industries we get to disrupt and continue to help other individuals have a yard that looks like, oh my gosh, somebody, wow, best it's looked ever. End quote.
Ever.
Julia. Ever.
I know. And guess what? We use this new deer repellent and the deers aren't eating our flowers. Everybody says deer repellent doesn't work. I don't know what kind I bought a tractor supply, but deer are not touching it. But they're still all over the yard, but they're just not eating my flowers. So whoop. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go I'm gonna come and see it then.
Yes.
Take the big journey.
Yeah. Please do.
Awesome. Well, Julie, really appreciate you. And your link is in the description. Anybody wants Healy, Julie, if they're connected with you, that is the route to go. And that way, because Julie is, she's distributing these things, and she is definitely connecting other individuals and helping other individuals experience frequency medicine. You have a device. And so if anybody, for myself is like, I don't know about tapping into that quantum thing. Okay, that's fine. Well, Julie, if you're in the Medford, Rogue River, Grants Pass area, greater, if you're within an hour driving distance, just come and connect with Julie. She will be happy to help you and connect you. She's a beautiful, amazing person and be happy to serve you, and just a really wonderful experience. And as she's getting to know it, you can get to know it as well. And it's a really fun process. So thank you very much, Julie, for your trust. And this is a wild journey and adventure that we are on, and we haven't even started yet.
I know, really just beginning.
Yeah. At least you're on your surfboard and we're in the ocean, and the wave is here, and we're about to start doing one of those. So here we go. Yeah. Surf's up, hang 10, right?
Woohoo!
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
I appreciate you. Thanks for taking some time.
My